Okay, so today I want to kind of go into um, how to basically prepare the body and also strengthen the body to handle stronger Kundalini flow, I guess you can say, or just stronger energy in general that comes with internal practices down the line, and also when you're receiving shaktipat, for instance, those instances where you're receiving a strong surge of energy that you normally wouldn't experience on a daily basis, you know. It can be quite, for lack of a better term, it can be quite shocking to the system. In the same sense that doing a cold plunge could be shocking to the system, or something that the body just isn't used to, and then you're just being overwhelmed by it. So what I tend to do is certain type of yoga postures, also some type of cardiovascular exercises as well, and basically these both serve the purpose of number one, the yoga helps to develop a certain type of muscle fiber in the body, which is basically in line with or conducive to uh, energy development practices. Um, Cardiovascular exercises are in general good for you as well because of the detox effect that they actually have on the system, and the enhanced circulation that it helps to develop over time. So basically, the better blood circulation you have, the better your body is able to detox. As we all know, before any type of higher level yogic practices are done, the first stage of yoga basically would be detoxing the system. They call these the shakkarmas or shakraya, something like that. I can't remember what the term is, but it's like 6 yogic cleansing practices that they typically do to serve the purpose of basically detoxing the system to the fullest extent or to the greatest extent possible. And basically, once the system is properly detoxed, then the body is it's a more proper vessel for conducting those higher quantities of energy. In my school, we also have a detox method as well, which we don't actually utilize all of these different, practices and stuff. Quite simply, we just take something called a blood melting pill, blood transforming pill, and this has a strong detox effect on the blood, purifies it to the greatest extent possible. Like, this is honestly, in my opinion, the detox effects of that little pill that we take is unmatched. I know people say they like to do fasting, they like to do all type of different stuff, dietary changes, all just whatever you can do to purify the system. People like to do it, sun gazing or sunbathing, basically stuff like that. But that little pill we take will literally detox your system from 4 hours to 24 hours. Like, you will have completely clean blood as long as you take the recommended dose. So that's what we actually do during the medical seminars. We take those detox pills, but there are other alternatives, which I'm stating right now. Basically, certain cardiovascular exercises, and I'll show a couple to you, of course. But the yoga, I want to kind of touch upon that for a brief moment. The yoga basically develops the slow twitch fibers. So with bodybuilding, what people are more focused on typically are trying to develop the fast twitch fibers, getting those fast pumps out, right? Running real fast, or something like that. Anything, trying to just do things fast in general, that's gonna develop the fast twitch fibers. That won't help to, it'll have a negligible effect on being able to handle these high level energies with these with that these practices basically help to generate. So the slow twitch is what you want. So slow twitch basically is similar to doing fast twitch practices, but you're doing it slow, or you're holding it for a sustained time. So first, I guess we can start with how I like to start off, basically, which is warming up the system, warming up the cardiovascular system, right? So kind of what I like to do is I like to do a running in place type of thing. And I kind of start slow just to activate those slow twitch fibers. This is the high knee exercise. Now I'm not showing you in the specific order that I do the exercises, but I'm just pulling a couple that I do just to give you an example. And then I kind of like to speed it up. Now this will slowly start getting into the fast twitch muscle fiber development, but also it'll start increasing the circulation even more. Breathing to the lower abdomen, and I speed it up. So starting off slow will also help to kind of warm the body up. You see where this exercise itself is a warm-up, but you want to warm up for the warm-up. Then to maintaining those high knees. That will help to kind of start pushing the blood through the system, right? This has a detox effect in itself, this type of exercise. Maintaining that breathing throughout. Take a little break. And I like to do some jumping jacks. Jumping jacks will also help to push the blood. Warms up the joints. So those two exercises, those are my go-to exercises. Like when I don't have much time to do anything, I will do those right before my Neigong practice. So that also is a good warm-up for what I'm about to show you next. So I like to use the fast twitch as a warm-up for the slow twitch. You can easily harm yourself doing slow twitch exercises if the body isn't properly prepared. So in the same sense, you can easily harm yourself developing or just increasing your energy to levels that the body has never seen before if it also isn't properly prepared. So you need to prepare for the preparation for the actual goal, So you have your preparation for the actual goal, but you also need to prepare for that preparation for that actual goal, okay? So a great slow twitch exercise, because this is basically a condensed video, but I'm gonna show what I feel like is best for, or more conducive for preparing oneself for Kundalini. So I like to do headstand, followed by handstand, right? So I'm gonna show a little more advanced, well, me show you a basic way to do a headstand. So if you're, a lot of people tell me, oh, I can't do a headstand, you know, it's so hard. Guess what? I have a little trick for you, all right? I teach 1-year-olds how to do headstand. And I'm not making this up. I literally teach 1-year-olds how to do headstand. And I'm telling you right now, do not do it. I'm a pro at it, okay? I'm actually a yoga teacher, so I know the methods of being able to do this. And honestly, you cannot force a child to do something that they don't want to do. So I only teach children who want to do it, right? And it's very simple for them. Just like how a child might want to learn to stand, they do it on their own. They might want to learn to walk, they do it on their own. There's nothing you have to do except for the most minimal guidance necessary, you know? So I'm not going to show you how I teach 1-year-olds, but I'm going to show you how I can teach you to do it. So first, back facing the wall, we want to put our hands on the floor like this, right? Okay. You want to make sure either your walls are black or your feet are clean. You're going to walk your feet up the wall. Okay. This might be a little strenuous for people who aren't used to doing a handstand, right? But now we're going to slowly lower. Well, no, that's a more advanced one. Let's start with the head a little lower, the head on the ground with the hands, okay? When you start with your head on the ground, I want you to put forth the utmost pressure through the crown of your head as possible. So in Chinese, they call it Ba Hui. In yoga, in India, they call it Sahasrara. So basically, palms on the ground, Sahasrara on the ground, walk the feet up. Okay? Use as much strength as needed. If anything, some of you, if this is your first time, you might need to use all your strength. After some time, you may become comfortable enough that you say, oh, hey, I can lift up one hand. And then after some more time, when I say time, I mean either a few seconds, a few days, or a few weeks. But eventually you'll become comfortable enough to where you say, hey, I can lift one hand. And then eventually you'll say, hey, I can lift both hands, right? Okay. That is the foolproof method to do a headstand for anyone who is in even a semi-fit condition. I'm not recommending everybody of every body shape to try this. If you are of a semi-fit condition, it's impossible for you to not be able to do a headstand just how I just showed, okay? I'm not there with you, so I ask, proceed with caution, but that is the most foolproof method to do a headstand. So now, what you want to do eventually is you want to hold that for an extended time. So that is a slow twitch exercise that will develop the slow twitch fibers of the spine. Where does Kundalini energy flow, or where is it known to flow? Through the spine, right? So this will develop the spine. This will develop neck strength. This will develop a lot, you know. This will help to develop the nervous system in general. This will also help to increase blood circulation to the brain in a healthy manner, right? Okay, so next exercise we're gonna attempt is a supported handstand. Okay, so now we're gonna start off the same way we just started. Okay, using all your might, push through the arms, push through the head, walk those feet up the wall. Make sure you always start with one foot, right? Don't just try to jump up like that. Start with one foot, walk up, walk up, walk up, okay? Now this is gonna be a little more advanced, but this is a great circulation exercise for the upper body, especially the arms. So now we're going to Walk the feet up and push through the hands as much as possible. Hold it for a couple seconds. Come down. Again. Maintaining your abdominal breathing through every exercise that I'm showing, okay? Push through the hands. Walk down. Doing it in this manner will develop the fast twitch fibers more so. Now, to develop the slow twitch fibers, which is more conducive to yoga, instead of just trying to develop the circulation, we're gonna hold it, okay? And when I say hold it, I mean trying to become as relaxed as possible and maintaining your abdominal breathing. Become relaxed, maintain the abdominal breathing. Once that burn becomes overwhelming, come down. You can either go back into the headstand, maintain that abdominal breathing, or if you're just feeling overwhelmed, you can come up from that doing those two exercises, okay? Now that is a more beginner-friendly method. Slightly more advanced method, which I'm just absolutely not recommending you do it, but because it's not really necessary. I only like to do what's necessary for development. And I really only like to even talk about in general what's necessary for development. There's thousands of exercises and yoga postures you can be doing. You know, you can be lifting 400 pounds on a bench press or something. It's really not necessary for development. You won't see me pick up a bench press, you know, so I only do what I feel needs to be done. There's a slightly more advanced method. This is just for the F of it. I'm gonna show this to you guys, okay? So I'm going to place my Sahasrara Bahwe, or the crown of my head, on the floor. I'm going to walk my feet up. Then I'm going to go straight into a headstand. My back is not touching the wall. Okay. This is just so you can see it again. Okay. Now, I'm not recommending you do that. So for you can just push through the hands, lift the feet. This will test the core out, right? This is gonna train your core. So another exercise this is what I used to do so I can develop the leg lift strength, or the leg lift core strength needed for the headstand. I used to do this frequently, and I used to even hold this posture here for a while, okay? That's just a side exercise you can work on while doing the headstand. So this one is a little more complicated. You're gonna feel a lot of strain in the neck in the beginning. I recommend doing like 1 second, 2 second. Do not try to push through that strain, because you can pinch stuff. You can pinch stuff in that area, so don't push through that strain. The next, we're gonna go with a slightly more advanced handstand wall support exercise, where you're just gonna breathe into the abdomen and push. Okay? It's not absolutely necessary to be able to do an unsupported handstand in the middle of the floor, but this handstand exercise in general will help to boost circulation in both of the arms and the upper body in general. This will strengthen the spine. This opens up the chest. It opens up the chest. So that handstand opens up the chest, and certain mechanics are utilized in Kundalini yoga where the chest is being utilized and stuff like that. I'm not going to go into those mechanics, but those postures will basically help to boost the effectiveness of the specific exercises used in Kundalini yoga and in my school of Neigong. So those are just a couple of exercises. Trying to think of one more that may be like super beneficial for the general public to practice. So we did jumping jacks. We did high knee exercise, running in place. We did handstand, and we did headstand. And these are all beginner friendly in my opinion, as long as you're semi-fit, you know. Honestly, you don't need to be fit at all, but you shouldn't be in a condition where trying to find a kind way to put it, but you basically want to be you want to have some general level of healthiness to you. You don't want to harm yourself, you know. If you just know you're not capable, don't try it, please. Start with, maybe you can do the high knee exercise real slow. Do a few jumping jacks, you know, and kind of build up your stamina a little bit. Work on your, just work on that health in general, and then eventually down the line you will be able to do these beginner friendly exercises. As I come up with some other solutions to help people fight through the detox process, I should say. Fight through, maybe not necessarily fight through the detox process, but to push through the detox process, which is much needed, honestly. In my school, they will not give you shaktipat, like unless the body is detoxed, and there's ways that they're able to test it. You've probably seen on my videos, like when they do a shaktipat to the arm, and if you see an arm doing that or the body jumping, there's blood issues, and that person needs detox to the system. They can either take the long, arduous route, which is like the 6 cleansing practices that are taught in yoga, doing cardiovascular exercises and stuff and whatnot, or they can just take that short route and just take that blood cleansing pill, and then they're ready to get shaktipat on the spot practically. So many ways to skin a cat, right? As the saying goes. So I hope this was helpful to you guys. If you're interested in learning any other type of yogic practices and stuff like that, you can either comment down below, or honestly, I kind of prefer email as well for some more specific things suited to the individual, and I do accept donations as well for personal teaching. So if you're interested, you know what to do. If you like this content that I'm posting, please hit that subscribe button down below. See you guys in the next one.